Anti-Afro Svengalis. For those interested in the contest, please go over to the community page where more information has been posted. People are asking me about Max V. I don't know Max V. I have absolutely no idea when he will be returning to his live stream with his queen cackling hen, Kellis Lab. Who came up with this? Came up with the word carry for me. And thank you very much because I get the chance to bring it right back to you in that you got your asses carried up on out of here as far as these live streams go. I'm sorry, people. You're asking me questions. I can't answer. You sending me these clips of this person, this Cackling hen screaming and hollering about me and so preoccupied and checking in. Am I messing up the chat? Am I messing up the chat by talking about anti-Afro Bengalis? And so concerned that Lennon was complimenting me before and now she's not hearing him compliment me now, and just so concerned about my relationship with Lennon and preoccupied with who's talking to me now and who wasn't before. And I don't have any concerns about this person and who she's dealing with, but she seems really occupied and preoccupied about who compliments me. If you have concerns about who is getting compliments, that represents that you're perhaps concerned that you're not getting compliments. If you want compliments and accolades and support and attention and all of that, make up your own channel, create a channel, show us your creativity, get a draw to you. Maybe you will not have to spend so much time worrying about what I'm doing, because I'm not thinking about you at all until people send me these clips with this person screaming and hollering and raging all over the place, all under the auspices of Max V. But it's also bizarre that this person identifies as being bisexual and still not satisfied. She would be getting double the compliments I'm getting, right, in another respect, but still not satisfied, just obsessing over my compliments and my accolades. To me, it's bizarre, people. I would have no way of knowing about when he's coming back to do live streams, but I am waiting for him to come back. There were initial plans to have his live stream as the contest. That's not going to stop the contest. I'll pick another live stream and I will give you updates on that. Do not worry about the live stream part. We'll get to that. But what I want to talk about is the slander that Max V perpetrated against me. Max V got up here on YouTube and stated I was part of a criminal organization, and then he said I flagged his channel or live stream or whatever he said. Okay, let's start it out. Let's start at the beginning. First off, if you believe anything he says, please consider getting your head examined, because Max V lies relentlessly. Is it possible the channel and videos were flagged? Yes. Did I, anti-Afro Svengalis, flag Max V anytime, anywhere, any place, ever? No. And guess what? I can prove that. I can prove that in a court of law, and I'm willing to do that if that's what it takes. Because Max V lied. He lied on me relentlessly and made money while doing it by putting my name in his video titles, and I had the freaking nerve to get up there spinning these tales like Rumpelstiltskin, who he beat by a mile. Why? Again, financial gain. I want to get to the bottom of this. You're not going to sit up here and think you can say whatever you want. Not about me anyway. And now, if there's a lesson to be learned, does anyone know about the situation involving Tasha K and the Cardi B? Well, if a lesson is to be learned, I think the closest example to that would be the situation with Tasha K and Cardi B. Just so we're clear, don't leave me any comments about Cardi B or Tasha K or how you feel about them personally. That's not the issue I'm addressing. I'm addressing the fact that Tasha K said many things about Cardi B. I don't know whether or not these things are true, but Tasha K said that they were, and Cardi B filed a lawsuit. Tasha K filed a counterclaim, and that counterclaim was thrown out recently by a judge. So now it remains, will Tasha K actually go to trial on the original claims, or are we just looking at legal fees? I'm not quite sure, because I haven't really been following it, but I know the counterclaim was thrown out, and Cardi B has not dropped that lawsuit. She's moving forward. And I do recall that stuff was going on. It was like everywhere. You couldn't miss it. I wasn't really tuned in. I just know it was all over the place, where she was saying all of these things about her daughter, her health issues. And Cardi B, I guess, was fed up. What did Tasha K get out of this? She got a lot of subscribers. She got a lot of attention. She got a celebrity talking about her. Is it worth it? Is it worth being in a situation where you have a celebrity that absolutely has the money to take you to court and keep you in court? We're not talking about a criminal case where you are waiting for the wheels of justice to turn, ultimately bring that final hammer down. And we know about that, although Umar Johnson's been held accountable, ultimately held accountable for the global issues. But this is a civil situation, and monetarily can ruin Tasha K. Is it worth it, people? Because you can go about trashing people sun up to sundown, and then you're going to come against somebody who's not going to put up with your garbage. And this is a situation with Max B. And nobody can compare the Umar Johnson situation. That is totally ridiculous. Umar Johnson's own words are used to address Umar Johnson's behaviors. It's not comparable. And even if it was comparable, it would depend on who Umar Johnson was trying to sue. If Umar Johnson's trying to sue someone who he has lambasted and created all these false scenarios about, Umar Johnson is never going to prevail in a court of law because he wouldn't have clean hands. So think once, think twice as to why Umar Johnson has never filed a lawsuit, especially towards the people whose lives he threatened. He would never prevail. Not within that context, he wouldn't. Now, if one of us went out and did something completely different, but caused him physical harm, that would not be justified. And yes, Umar Johnson would prevail in a lawsuit. None of us have ever threatened Umar Johnson and never would. So he doesn't have that on us. But people who go around here thinking they can come up and just say any and everything about people, we have seen the consequences. The FBI has been involved. Law enforcement from multiple jurisdictions have been involved. And it's irrelevant that people want to pretend none of this happened. That's fine. It happened. And there are things that are still pending. And we know for a fact those threats were stopped. I got the guarantee that those threats were stopped. And if they resume, there is going to be an arrest. That guarantee I got. And so did Rev G. His case is still pending. But I was given assurances, and there have been no other threats. That's the criminal side of things. Now you have the civil side of things, where you have somebody, one in Max V. Do I even care that Max V has these, quote, feelings towards me? I do not. Have I ever done anything to Max V? No. Max V is the one who decided I shouldn't be entitled to civil rights. That's where that got started. Max V decided it was perfectly fine to host people on his panel who threatened my life, and many others. And none of those threats were in the context of any self-defense. Nobody was threatening us because we threatened physical harm to them, that we did anything to their families or anything like that. Didn't happen. These were unprovoked attacks. And these attacks were not even on these people. What was stated had nothing to do with the people who launched these threats and attacks towards us. I don't owe Max V anything at all other than the truth be brought right back into his face and he be held accountable for his lies. And that's what I will do. That's exactly what I will do. And the whole issue is people thinking that I should be concerned about what they think of me in this process. That's incredibly bizarre, especially since the people who think like that, they don't have my back. They don't support me. They try to use me. They would put my name in their videos and sit up and complain about what I'm doing. They're stressed out over what I'm doing, which has nothing to do with them. Or does it? They want a certain scenario so it can bring money to their channel. What does that have to do with me? You don't dictate what I do. If you want money brought to your channel and you want me, Anti-Afro Svengalis or AFW, to do a certain thing, you're wasting your time. If you want money brought to your channel based on what someone else is doing, that is not a reliable process. Why don't you come up with your own type of shindig? Come up with your own phrases. Coin your own slash group. Doesn't have to be anti-fraud warriors, and do your thing. But like I said, anti-fraud warriors is not about recording videos. I don't have to record a single video on Umar Johnson to do anti-fraud warrior work. And that is what some people don't like. They want to associate themselves with the AFW name, but they absolutely don't believe in anything that we stand for, because if they did, they wouldn't be associating with the people who attacked us. They wouldn't be supporting those who race attack and call me gorilla bitch. I don't want to sell anybody short. They wouldn't be sitting up in these live streams where people continuously verbally abuse and attack me and other anti-fraud warriors. They wouldn't expect me to be worried about what their supporters think of me, because I do not care. There are very few exceptions. And when those exceptions arise, I deal with those. Aside from that, it has no relevance. So go ahead and challenge yourself. Be creative. Do your own thing. See what you can come up with absent my name in your videos and in your titles. Because if you do that, you damn well better believe you're going to hear me get up here on a video and speak on it, if I so choose, and if people ask me to do it. That is going to be my decision. But absolutely will not happen is that you're going to get up in a live stream and slander me. It doesn't matter how long I've been quiet. I'm not quiet anymore. So when Max V returns, I'm hiring someone who's already agreed to do this. They will be recording every single word in his live stream as it occurs. Now, I don't have any idea if he's recording something and we don't have access to it. But guess what? YouTube can be subpoenaed. And that's the route I will take. I am not going to be Max V's punching bag. I'm not going to be Max V's scapegoat. And for anyone out there who wants to reduce this down to anti-Afro Svengalis and The Smoke and Albert Lanier tag teaming Max V, are you serious? Someone who claims to be AFW assumes that mindset? That just tells me the person's upset because this is not playing into the hand that they think will bring them the revenue they want. We don't play into anybody's hand. We deal with the issues as they arise. And if somebody wants to sit up in a live stream and slander me, I'm going to deal with that. If whoever decides they don't want to deal with it, that is their decision. That is not incumbent upon me. If somebody wants to get stressed out and freak out because there's videos posted and the videos don't have anything to do with them, they're related to me. Why the hell would somebody care? And you're right, Albert Lanier brought up a great point. Max V pretended that he was all upset when these rumors were going around about Albert being in a skilled nursing facility or an assisted living facility. Why would Max V care about that? It wasn't about Max V at all. It wasn't about Albert at all. It was about Max putting on a show and then bringing up his mother and all this bullshit. He doesn't give a damn about Al. If he so cared about Al, why would he go and say, you're canceled, you're an anti-fraud warrior, probie? No, he posted a video about the assisted living facility and Al because he wanted to draw you over to his channel for that day. How do you go from one day claiming to be, you're so concerned about someone? Oh, you shouldn't be doing that. This is wrong. You're mistreating this man. And then the next day you say the man's canceled? As if you can cancel a journalist. There's only one way you're going to silence a journalist. And trust you me, that's not in the cards. You don't silence a journalist. How are you going to tell a journalist that he or she can't talk? That's ridiculous, people. He never cared. And then when some fool came up and said, well, I'm saying right now, and this is the kicker, whoever is going to have Al on their panel, you're not getting super chats. And I'm not going to be so low as to mention this person's name. Max was triggered by that. Max went off. Why? Because he was worried about money being cut off. Are you just leaving that message for me? Are you? He reacted. He didn't react because he had a concern for Al. He reacted because there was money involved. So phony, people. So phony. And another reason why Max had to make sure Albert was up out of there, he wasn't trashing me. Now here we go again with the compliments. I don't recall him complimenting me, but he didn't trash me. So I guess that is interpreted as a compliment. How about it just being someone's a decent person? He didn't come in here saying the things that Max B wanted him to say about me. He would have loved that. If he did that, he would have kept him around. Just because someone's unwilling to kiss Max B's behind, just because they're unwilling to trash and bash me on command, they're an anti-fraud warrior. And they have to be canceled. But never did Max ever bank on the journalist, which tells you what he doesn't know about journalists, is going to find somewhere to go and hold those conversations with whoever is willing to hold those conversations. But on the base level, that also applies to any man who doesn't shrink like a prude. Just because of who? Why would anybody think that they have to listen to Max V? But to say to people, because you didn't trash anti-Afro Svengalis, and not that he's saying quote it, but that's what he was waiting for, because he allows everybody else to do it over there. He gets enjoyment out of it. But when he came against somebody who wouldn't follow suit, even while the person was sitting there on the panel, that's problematic. And what's problematic is some people can't seem to exist in peace unless they are the ones leveling all of these unprovoked attacks and assaults. But like I said before, don't you dare open your mouth. Their rule is they say anything they want about you, and you are to remain silent. Well, if anyone out there decides to live under that crazy ass rule, you are welcome to do it. I just won't be joining you. And let me tell you this much. As far as the people on the live stream, that's what I was really after, because it was going to help this contest. But like I said, we can use another live stream. Trust me, there's a history of this, of these people doing this. So they're going to keep doing it. So we're going to have plenty of opportunity to get this contest taken care of and picking a winner. But he doesn't care about any Albert. He doesn't care about him as a person. How can he care? He doesn't even know the man. He was too chicken shit to face what he did. We already know he couldn't stand up to the smoke, so he tried to use me as a punching bag. And no, I'm standing still. You're not going to use me as your punching bag. I'm going to insist that you answer to the lies that you told about me. People can say what they want, yes, but there are limitations. I'm the one that gets to decide whether or not you're offending me. I decide that. A court of law will decide whether or not there's validity to my claims, which means, of course, those here in these YouTube streets who don't give a diddly squat about me and never did, and I didn't even know they freaking existed until 3 weeks ago. I'm not relying on their opinions and their views and their approval to make a decision, nor am I relying on those who act like they're down with me and AFW and they're just using me. It's not going to be decided by them either. It's not going to be decided based on what live streams are going down or what videos people are posting. Again, it will be decided in a court of law. And if that's where it needs to go, that's where it's going to go. We're going to wait and see. Because I'm going to make my move, and that move is going to be made towards making sure there is a very serious lesson learned. And it's based on the law. You cannot come up here and accuse me of being a criminal and lying also that I flagged your channel and flagged the videos when it's a freaking lie. And you know you have absolutely no proof, no reason to make any such claim. People, you know I will always ensure you have the truth front and center on this channel. In the meantime, heed the warning. Buyer beware.